Christopher Columbus, Category 5, still sitting on shore, beating up on us. Okay? So then I have Andrew Jackson. Can that be a Category 10?
Yeah.
Okay, because if I could rank him, he's a 10. He's still beating on us.
Yes.
None of these European storms have moved. At least Katrina hit ashore, did the damage, and moved on.
Left.
These categories continue to beat today. I wish it was drum beats, but it's not. It's not something you can dance to. It's something that you have to duck and dodge and constantly try to stay out of the way of the debris that it blows. Is that a good way to describe it?
Excellent.
Some of the debris that these categories have blew up on us, yes, you can help. But the first thing you have to go through being classified as crazy, because the United States have fixed it in the United States where whatever is not by their rule is crazy. So we have to take those abuse. That's part of some of the debris that's below the shore and still hitting around. A lot of the universities don't know about us because when they did write the truth about us, it was covered in the basement. So it's still down in the basement, okay? A lot of the truth was in the St. Louis Cathedral. Where did they put the records? A lot of the truth was in the Cabildo. Where is it? A lot of the truth is inside the tombs of the graves that's at St. Louis Cathedral, because they have a lot of Indians buried in there too. The bricks that built St. Louis Cathedral, my people made those bricks. The bricks that built the tomb in the older graves came from my people. Those categories was not only able to blow debris, but it was also able to cover things up. Like Katrina blew a lot of rubbish that covered up things. You know, that sludge that was left in your house and on your ground. Some of the sludge of this storm that I have to deal with is, am I this color as an Indian because of African descent? Or am I this color because this is the color of my ancestors? Well, the truth to that lies with the anthropologists, if they tell the truth. Because as they dig into the grounds, they have found people and they know they look like I look. But do they want to be politically correct as a white man to stay in standing with his white man? Or do he want to just let the truth lie in the basement? If you would look into the older court records of Louisiana, you'll find my people there. But it be looked upon by some people as Europeans, because the white man duplicated every last name he gave to us after being forced to take a family name. He duplicated those same names. So now, then you could easily say, well, it's not the black Greens, it's the white Greens. It's not the black Dupree, it's the white Dupree. But I was always told the proof is in the pudding. So in my family, we didn't tell the white folks all our business. So when they stole our identity, mispronounced it as Choctaw, they would come back into Lacombe, see our ways of living, and then they would mimic this back in Oklahoma. We have to ask, as historians, who signed the Dancing Rabbit Treaty and some of the other treaties? Research their name and see if the people that's in Oklahoma, I'm finna get real controversy. Let's see if there's really Native Americans that your tax money is paying for today, no matter what color you are. I said, if the government want to really know who been ripping them off, check out and see who's inside that pudding. Because what's in the pudding sure ain't chocolate. It's all vanilla. Okay?
You know, Chief, and I'm going to say this for our viewers, that we have the number up because I'm always being told that there's not enough time for calls, so you can begin calling now if you so desire. But also, Chief, I want to say this to you, and I understand that I have come from a particular time zone that, because I was raised by Garveyites and nationalists, I remember that when blacks used to claim some heritage of being Indians, the response used to be, yeah, anything but a nigger. But then as I grew, I learned that the Indians we were seeing on TV were not representative of the indigenous people of this country. And when we begin to look at the indigenous people of this country, they begin to look like black folk. And when you told us many times and several times in the history of our relationship that the whites came in, infiltrated, stole it, and moved on. And that was, that was really enough for me to begin to dig and learn and find out exactly what is going on. And you mentioned, and so did you, Brother Roderick, about people returning to their own. And this is extremely important that our audience understands. Now, you've had communications from people who have seen this show from New Orleans, from other parts of the country.
Around the country.
And you wanted to talk a little bit about that this evening, so we'll get into that.
Back to what you were saying. What you were doing, Wes, and what you were doing, Ms. Hill, is cutting into that pie or that pudding. You're showing the truth. Like you said, you was in an engagement the other day and you exposed some things that was accepted and some may have been rejected by others, but it was the truth. And this is what you have been doing. People are looking at it now in a different way. And I'm glad you said about the time and era. Some people were ashamed to even say they was Native American again, especially living in an African American community.
Right.
Because then they told me they was looked upon as being a traitor or trying to be something that they were not.
That's right.
But then they knew their grandmother was an Indian. And some of these callers, when they called me, I explained to them that what we're looking at here is a denial that is coming from the inside now, not from the outside. And we need to challenge United States on that. And United States need to answer us on that. How can I be one drop Indian, okay, and be 99 drops European, and I can be classified as an Indian? Versus I can be 99 drop Indian, 1 drop black, now I cannot be an Indian. Are y'all with me? And this is what this blood quorum thing they have used against us. That to me should be illegal at this day and time in the United States. And the reason it's not illegal because it haven't been exposed enough. And a lot of people do not know through the media and universities the discrimination and racism and prejudice that Indians face today. When I say Indians, I'm not talking about Oklahoma. I'm not talking about a lot of these tribes, and I'm gonna be honest with you, here in Louisiana. Those are tribes put together underneath Andrew Jackson and underneath the Indian rights law. I'm talking about indigenous Indians who picked up the name Indian as a tag by Europeans.
Just like nigger.
Thank you.
That's right.
And by giving us that tag, you stole our real identity. There's a swap took place.
And that's my point, Chief. Excuse me. That is my point. I don't know if I made that clear when I made that little statement in the beginning. When I hear my people of color say, I have Indian in me, that's why my reaction is like it is. Really? Well, why don't you find out about that?
Because United States have fixed it for you.
You know,
our people are on the internet.
Think that.
He calls me all the time. Like he said, he's out there. He calls me all the time. Chief, I found these people. Would you talk to them? You know, I'm like, Roderick, some of them done lost their marbles. You know, and I'm just being honest, and I'm a truthful person. I said they done lost their marbles. Because what they don't understand is United States not fixing to give us United States back. Okay?
We're conquered.
What I want to know is where do we get the government-to-government relationship we was promised under these lying treaties? You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
And where do we get as a nation to be able to teach our people within their own culture? Where do we get to enrich ourselves, not only financially, but spiritually and physically, without the United States hindering that? Roderick had someone to call me a couple of days ago, and they said, what are your greatest interests? I said, well, one, I would like to be able to farm the land again. I would like to drink clean, clear water again that's healthy. He said, I would like to be able to ride through my town, or my people ride